I served my cheating wife who left for AP just to sleep with him and now is absolutely devastated cause she became hated by her own children. I'm not really sure what I am looking for in posting this. Tomorrow is my mediation day and I'm a little numb and restless. I, 43M, have been married to my STBXW, 41F, for 19 years together 25 years. We met in high school. I found out in October, the day before our 19th anniversary, she had at least an EA, but I also believe she also had a PA, but she would not admit it with the current guy. She said they only kissed. Yeah, right. She told me she loved him, he is married with 2 kids, and then she said I love you, but I am not in love with you. But on the same day she admitted to a PA with a different man 12 years ago. The basics to the story is she pretended to try and work it out and eventually asked for a divorce. It's so much more messy than this, and I may tell the whole story someday. I just don't have the energy tonight. She moved out in January and my girls, 10 years old and 15 years old, have lived with her at her parents' house and my son, 16 years old, lives with me. I see my girls often and try to talk to them every day. My son has become so much closer to me. I love them all so much and I hate that this has happened to them as well. Maybe I'm looking for encouraging words. Wisdom, I have prayed a lot about this and then again maybe not enough. I know she has at least told her family lies about me, but they also know some of the truth. It's weird to be a part of a family and then all of a sudden you are a stranger. Here is something I wrote to her last night, but I won't send it because I know it would mean nothing to her. The devil's work is almost done. I'm mad/sad that all 3 of our kids are in therapy. I'm mad/sad that you are the other woman. You have destroyed more than our marriage. Our kids are forever changed because of your actions. I worry how this will affect their future relationships. You have destroyed other families and that makes me sick. How and why would you choose to be the other woman? It's disgusting and I know you know it is wrong. You are one of the most selfish people I know. You didn't just make a one-time mistake. You choose to do this over and ever after being confronted, you choose evil. That relationship is from the devil. This could hurt your soul. You will never be able to be in a relationship where you are not an adulteress. As far as I know you are still with your affair partner. You both have started a relationship built on a lie. One of you will cheat on the other, and if not, I'm sure it will be miserable if you have a conscience. I know for a fact that he has already questioned what he has done and tried to go back to his wife. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the grounds of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5 verse 32. He said to them, because of your hardness of heart Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. Matthew 19 verses 8-9. You lied for so long it is hard to tell what was ever true. Is this who you were along and I didn't know it, or did you change? I do believe you did me a favor forcing the divorce. You made the statement that maybe you don't deserve me. Maybe that is true, but if you didn't force this I would have kept trying to love you and save our marriage. How do you not feel remorse or shame or guilt? How do you sleep at night knowing what evil you have done? You said at one point you were praying and talking to God, but if there is no change, is there really any sorrow or repentance? I know that is between you and God, but it is one more thing I don't understand. How do you sit in church and not feel guilt or shame? How did you sit with me and our family and not feel shame and guilt? You are not too far gone, you can still be saved. I don't mean we can have a relationship, especially now, but you can repent and return to God. I believe that would mean putting away that selfish person you have become. I have said in the past, you are a good mother. I believe I lied to you. A good mother would not have done this to her family. You are a selfish person who just loves herself. Maybe you care about the children, but because of how it makes you look at the world. I know how much you care about your image. As for me, I have tried hating you, but it does no good. I really could have come after you, I mean your career, you always cared about that more, but but I decided that time will take care of everything. I don't need to hurt you because you are broken. I'm sure there has to be a lot of pain to do the things you have done. In some ways, I pity you. I'm saying my last goodbyes and releasing you. Update. Last week, my ex-wife, her dad showed up too, and I worked out a settlement agreement in mediation. It took all day, but we got it done. Basically, since we all agreed it's over. Only one party has to prove it up to the judge. I was nice that day and let the girls stay with her because she had family that came to town. We switched days. Trying to extend the olive branch. I believe she has messaged me every day since then for some reason. I ignored most of it because it wasn't about the kids. Thursday night, my mom took a fall and broke her hip and leg. My poor mom is a saint too. She has dedicated her life to her family and especially my older sister who is mentally handicapped. Friday was a proud day and I have more than the divorce on my mind. It goes quickly with me and my lawyer as the only ones to attend. Remember, we have already agreed on everything, so this is basic info for the courts to accept what everyone has signed and agreed. I got my girls, because this is my day, I got back for last week's exchange date. My ex-wife is messaging me about something and I replied in a snarky way, congratulations on getting the divorce you wanted. She cheated on me, she messaged back and said she hasn't seen any paperwork, so hold off. I told her I went before the judge today, so as of June 11, 2021 we are divorced. Her messaging stops. I don't know why, because I thought she would be happy because this is what she wanted. I go to cook dinner with my middle child and I get a call from my ex-father-in-law asking me to come out and talk to him. We haven't spoken in weeks. I see him at my kids' games and when I pick up and drop off the kids, but we don't speak. He just stares at me. I just assume he has been lied to and is going to believe whatever his daughter tells him. I got my old phone and turned the recorder on because this isn't normal. I walked out and he is sitting in my driveway in his truck. I walked around to the driver's side and he didn't get out, he just had his window rolled down. He said, "How do you go before the judge without her?" I said, "David, this isn't about you. He was there last week under my protest too. I didn't marry you and I'm not divorcing you, so I'm not having this conversation with you." I should have gone inside at this point. If she wants to talk, I'll do it with her, but stay out of this. He said, "You will tell me." I pointed my finger at him to make my point that much cleaner and he swatted at me and he said, "Don't you point at me. It's my house and I'll point wherever I want." I know this is a dumb argument. I told him his daughter is an adulterous woman who has been sleeping with a married man. He called me a liar. I said she has slept with more than one married man and destroyed families. He acted surprised at first and then asked how would I know. I said I've seen the bills and records. Plus, I talked to the cheater's ex-wife. He goes to the point that he doesn't care about the cheating. Say I spent all the money. She got thousands of dollars just today. And he would have cheated if he had to live with me. He said he knows everything. I said I guess not if you don't know about her having affairs with married men. His other 2 daughters have done the same. I asked how it felt raising 3 horses. That his enabling is part of the problem. What would his own dad think? His dad was a very righteous man, he raised *beep. Okay, I was really mad, but maybe I crossed a line. He reached out and punched me in the arm. I defend myself and hit back. I tell him to stop. I don't want to fight this old man. He starts yelling about the judge again. I explained the process and he is still mad, saying their attorney didn't tell them anything. Not my fault. He starts saying I'm crazy and my son, his grandson, will be just like me. I said he will be a good man and I hope he doesn't marry *beep. He backs out and keeps saying this isn't over. He revs his engine and I think he is about to run over me. I move near our solid ground basketball goal. I don't know how much this will stop, but it's all I had, thank goodness. He finally leaves. I called the cops and they took a report, but I decided not to press charges right now. I have 2 years to act on it. The police went and spoke to my ex and her sister. She is crazy too, she could be her own post, her dad happened to not be home at the time. The sister actually came to my house while I was talking to the police. I finally came back inside and my girls are waiting on me. I had to fill them in a little because I believe one of them saw the police. It was almost 10, so they decided to go to bed. Kinda sad way to end the day. Gave hugs and told them I love them and I will keep them safe. I'm not sure what "this is not over" really means, but I guess he, ex-father-in-law, has something planned. Who knows what he is thinking? Hope this craziness makes sense. I'll keep hoping things will get better from here. Update 2. If you didn't read my last post, the basics are my mom fell and broke her left leg and hip Thursday night. She had surgery Friday morning. While she was in surgery, I went before the judge to prove up my mediation to make my divorce final. There is one more piece of paperwork that needs to be turned in. My ex and I were messaging about the house Friday afternoon because we are selling it, and I made a snarky comment about being divorced and she acted like she didn't know anything. She fired her attorney that day and left a message with my attorney. Within 5 minutes of the call, her dad was at my house causing trouble and the cops got called. Saturday, I took my middle child to her basketball tournament. My ex messaged saying she was coming to pick up a few personal things from the house. She still had clothes here, so that is what I thought she was taking, and it's my fault for thinking instead of asking. While I am at my daughter's basketball game, I get a call that my mother had a stroke and she was being life-flighted to a bigger hospital that can help. I get home to find the house gutted. She took a lot. Part of the agreement was everything stays till the house until it's sold. She may be mad because she had told her AP that she was getting everything she wanted back in November, which included the house and kids. She didn't get the house and my son is living with me. I see my girls almost every day too. I don't think she read or apparently didn't understand what we agreed to the week before, or maybe like our marriage she doesn't care. I was so worried about my mom I didn't care at the moment what was going on with the house and took off to be with her. My mom has been in the ICU until today. She is doing better but has a long way to go. My ex did call on Monday to ask about my mom. Or maybe she was fishing if I'm going after her dad for his *salt. She tried to explain that her dad was with her when she found out the divorce was final and she was upset she didn't get to go before the judge too. She said I would do the same for my girls. She also insisted she didn't know why she left and it wasn't until it was over that he came to my house. She said she fired her attorney because she wanted changes made to our mediation settlement. It says at least 3 times that this agreement is final. The mediator and my attorney told me the same thing. The message she left for my attorney was she wanted 30 to see what her options are, but she is not in a hurry to do anything because I have so much going on with my mother. I messaged my attorney and told her I don't trust her at all and get that last bit of paperwork finished. She did it yesterday, so we will see. My attorney and my brother, who is also an attorney, said my ex can't do anything. That it's done. I really don't know what the big deal is because she wanted the divorce and she has an AP. Let's end this and let me go. I made it home last night and was trying to figure out what all got taken. Some things we were supposed to split, and you can guess how that worked out for me because I was not here. One thing that is a little puzzling is why I took all the Bibles. We had a collection of them. She doesn't obviously care what is written in the Bible, so why take them? I'm sure she has justified her actions, but that doesn't make it right with God. I sometimes want to message and ask/tell her some of these things, but I know I'm wasting my breath. I believe she is with AP this week, and now that we divorced, I need to let it go. I sometimes shake when I think about them together. I did it tonight, and my middle child saw it and was really worried about me. It's not good. I hope I never meet him because I don't know if I can keep myself from going after him. I know it's her too, but I may have to leave if he comes around at some point. I'm starting IC again soon, and I know I need it. Anyway, thanks for the prayers for Mom. I know many of you are going through tough times with your spouse or ex. I wish you all the best and peace. Update 3. It's been a little bit since my last update and things have settled down since the divorce is final now. It's been 6 weeks since the divorce was final. For some reason she was mad about our mediation and tried to come back for more, but thank goodness I had a good family law attorney to shut that down. She fired her attorney after everything was done, so that's kind of funny. I thought everything was fair, but maybe that's why she was mad. I forced the sale of our house, the home was already destroyed, and she was mad about that too. Back in November, she told her AP that she was getting everything, which included the house and kids. I offered her to buy me out, but she wanted to give me no equity. I'm glad it went down this way, because coming to my old house to get my kids while another man's truck is in my driveway would have sucked. I actually had to deal with that last night as I dropped her last items off. I didn't see her, but it still kinda hurt. My son also chose to live with me, so that's awesome. My relationship with him has gotten so much closer. My daughters will be fine, but I worry what lies have been told to them and what they actually believe. I really can't worry too much about that because I have no control over it. I have gone on a few dates, but I realize I'm not ready for that, so I'm going to just keep working on myself. I set a goal last August to run 500 miles, and I have about 50 to go. I have also found a new church home, and that's great. Without God, family, and friends, I'm not sure where I would be. I thank a lot of you in this community too. Coming here has helped a lot with my decision-making process as well. So thank you all for reading and responding. I wish you all the best too. Today is kinda bittersweet. The house sells tomorrow, and I feel like it's the last page of this chapter of my life. After we close on the house this week, I can start focusing on the future. Thanks again to all of you. 1-year update. I write this as encouragement to all those who are going through the hell of discovering your spouse or partner has cheated. Yesterday was 1 year since I discovered that my wife/best friend/everything had been cheating on me for over a year, and the confession that it wasn't the first time. Today would have been our 20th anniversary. I actually thought today would hurt, but I've come so far since I discovered the affair. At first, I was in disbelief. The why and how could she do this to me? Then why would she do this to our family? As far as I knew, life was good, but she was unhappy, her words, and she didn't talk to me about it but gave herself to another man. The first few months the pain was unbearable at times. I would cry hard at different triggers, and I had a hard time even going to work. We tried to save the marriage for a few months, but in the end she wanted the divorce. You can't make someone love you, so I filed for divorce. I kept my vows of remaining faithful until the divorce was final in June. Since then, I have started dating, it's crazy out here, and doing things to make myself better and happier. I accomplished a goal of running 500 miles. I ran a 5K and did 3 half marathons on my own. I have a business that me and my dad started last year, and it's going good. I wish I could say every day was good, but I still have my ups and downs. I still have to interact with my ex, because we have kids, but for myself I keep that to the basics. Life is good and God has been with me. I still have a long way to go, but looking at where I was, I've come a long way. If you just started going through this hell, seek help in the form of close friends and family. Seek God. Go to therapy and get yourself help. Good books to read to help you understand what just happened. 2 books that really helped me were Chump Lady. She also has a blog, Leave a Cheater and Gain a Life and Cheating in a Nutshell. Seek advice here too. Many people here helped me through this hell. Be cautious about all of it and make your own decisions about what you want to do. If you want to reconcile, then try it. I did. If you know it's over, make your plans to move on with your life. Don't give up. I know that is easy to say, now keep going because you will get through this hell. I don't know you personally, but I understand your pain. Sending you all much love. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. I went onto the account and listened into the recorded voice prompts to our Amazon devices. She had been in her bedroom with another man asking Alexa to play BJ music the night before counseling. My stomach turned. I've been meaning to get all this off my chest, so sorry in advance that this is extremely long-winded. I, 30M, married my high school sweetheart, 33F. We first started dating when I was 14 and she was 17. Not gonna lie, felt ballin' to be dating a upperclassman in high school. She had a car, and we would often skip lunch or classes to go fool around. It didn't last long. She and I ended up graduating high school the same year. I skipped a couple grades. We were going to colleges far away. She ended it by saying she went to prom with another guy. I didn't take that well and broke up with her, but it ended up being a lie. Didn't much matter though, as we both saw our lives going in very different directions. Fast forward several years, I would have been 18 and her 21, at this point. We bumped into each other at a concert, and I immediately broke up with my so that night to get back together with her. She claimed to have done the same, though that's not exactly true. She did break up with him a couple weeks after we started having sex again though. We had our first child together a year later. We were both struggling financially, but overall, very happy. Our second child was born 5 years after that, and during that time, we had some difficulties at times, but we were very much in love. I have no doubt the children are mine. Thanksgiving, 2019. We had spent the whole day driving around to her parents' divorced houses, and as the night was coming to an end, my father called me and asked me to come by and talk/drink with them and my grandparents. I told them that sounded great, and that I'd drop off the kids and my wife at the house and swing by in an Uber. My wife didn't like this one bit, accused me of abandoning her, and I didn't listen. Told her that I was going, and it was only fair I got to see my family on Thanksgiving too. As soon as I left, she decided she would too. She left the children sleeping in their beds and drove to a nearby bar. She met someone, they hit it off, exchanged numbers, and she was seen by my friends leaving the bar with him and getting on his motorcycle. No helmet, kids alone at the house unbeknownst by me. I didn't find out about him until a couple days before Christmas. The 1-year-old had woken early, and a text message came through her phone from Jay. I deleted the message and went back to sleep. When I woke, I decided to keep an eye open, and started keeping tabs on her Facebook and text messages. They were flirty, and she would erase everything an hour or so before I'd get home from work every day. They kept their conversations inside a chess game on FB. Come mid-January, and we had just gotten into a fight the night before, because admittedly I was acting out. I was mad that she would abandon the kids out of spite. She had no idea that I was hearing from friends that she was doing sketchy things, and from family that she was having the kids watched on days she wasn't going to school or had any reason to need help with them. I woke up one morning and told her I wanted a divorce. This was rash, and in retrospect I could have approached this differently. She was blindsided. I told her I knew about Jay and that if she wanted out, she got it. I asked her to tell me what happened. She lied. I exposed her lie and asked her to try again. She lied, differently, but lied all the same. I told her I couldn't trust her, and that she needed to stop what she was doing if there was any chance for us. I continued to monitor her conversations. For 3 days. They didn't stop. Day 3, I snapped. Told her to get out of my house, that I wouldn't put up with this. She begged and pleaded, called her dad to come over and mediate. He didn't side with either of us, though he told me he experienced a similar situation with one of his exes, and he hoped we would find a way through this, even though they hadn't. We barely spoke after this, co-parenting, but that's all. She sat me down and asked if I saw a future where we were more than friends/co-parents, and I looked her in the eyes and said no. She moved out. As soon as she moved out, I suggested we do away with any physical intimacy. I didn't trust her when she lived with me. How was I supposed to trust her living on her own? She wasn't having that, wanted to repair our relationship, wanted to start going to counseling to try and work things out. And it seemed like that was helping a lot. Until one day, after our 4th counseling session, she asked me to treat her the way one of our mutual friends would treat her, as a friend who wouldn't imagine trying anything with her. I told her that sounded like she had a new boyfriend, that we were wasting our time/money trying to fix us if that was the case. She accused me of spying on her, which I hadn't been doing, and asked me to get my own Amazon account. Okay. So I decided, duck it, I went onto the account and listened into the recorded voice prompts to our Amazon devices. She had been in her bedroom with another man, asking Alexa to play B-job music the night before counseling. My stomach turned. I dug back in time. This same guy had been coming over regularly. Great. Naturally, once she moved out, she immediately started with this other guy, in the process exposing herself and me to herpes. She slept with this man the day they met, claims he told her about catching it himself during a homosexual experimentation phase, and she told him she didn't like condoms, so they were out of the question. I had my proof, weeks and weeks worth. I confronted her, but without showing any of the proof I found. She admitted to the affair, lied about all the details, and I knew it. She then told me about the herpes, and I got tested for STDs, dodged a bullet there. Luckily, I'm clean. She started bashing his character, how he was anti-BLM, didn't believe in dinosaurs, manipulated her, etc. Even now that things are out in the open, she continues to lie to me regularly, sometimes about things that don't seem to matter. She now tries to manipulate me with her sadness, make me worry about her and her mental status. She wants things to go back, of course she does, but it's not going to happen. She may act in ways that make her unfit to be my wife, but she's still the mother of my children. She knows she can twist me up with some tears and a few razor cuts. I filed everything I needed to with the lawyer. Hopefully this divorce goes by quickly. I want to get on with my life, but don't know where to start. What should I do?